There are so many moments throughout Michael Jordan's career that you could point at and say, yep, that's the moment that made Michael Jordan, well, Michael Jordan. The day he got cut in high school, the first time he dropped 30 points on the Bucks his rookie year, when he dropped 63 in the playoffs against Bird and the Celtics, the first ring, the list goes on and on and on. But for me, the game that made MJ was when he was in college. No, I'm not saying this just because I'm a diehard North Carolina fan. Let me explain. It's March 29, 1982. The NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four was being held in New Orleans, and on one side you had Georgetown, led by legendary coach John Thompson. The Hoyas were 30-6, second in the Big East, and a 1 seed in the tournament. They had a pretty easy going getting to the national title games with wins over Wyoming, Fresno State, Oregon State, and Louisville. Georgetown had one of the most talented teams in the country with several future NBA players, including senior Sleepy Floyd, and more importantly, freshman big man Patrick Ewing. You're going to hear his name a lot in this video. On the other side, you had North Carolina, led by legendary coach Dean Smith. The Tar Heels were the best team in college basketball statistically, going 31-2, winning both the ACC regular season and tournament championship. This Carolina team was stacked, led by junior star James Worthy, future NBA Hall of Famer who had championship experience. Carolina had been in the national championship the year before, but would lose to Indiana 63-50. This was a shock as UNC was the favorite to win this game, but with much of the team returning in 1982, the hope was that Dean Smith and company would finally be able to get over the hump. UNC beat James Madison, Alabama, Villanova, and Houston, led by Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, to get to the title game. Carolina also had a 6'6" freshman guard, you may have heard of him, named Mike Jordan. That's right, not Michael, Mike. More on that in a second. Jordan had put up a great year, 13.5 points, 4.5 boards, being second in scoring, and really just being James Worthy's wingman. Jordan was a star at Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina, averaging 25.6 points his junior year, being named to the McDonald's All-American game in 1981, and regarded as one of the best players in his class. Mike picked UNC first over Duke, NC State, and other programs across the country. This national championship game was a big opportunity. It was an opportunity for MJ to show that he was better than fellow freshman Patrick Ewing, who one journalist put behind Michael in the rankings. North Carolina was the 1.5 point favorite in the betting odds, but concerns of depth and size guarding Patrick Ewing, as UNC's biggest player in the rotation was 6'9" Sam Perkins. Game gets underway and Ewing immediately made an impact, scoring 4 of the first 6 points for the Hoyas. But he had problems with timing blocks, getting 3 goaltending calls really early. Michael Jordan got subbed out in the first break after putting up a tough shot on Ewing, but he would quickly come back in after some free throws and would get his first points off a Ewing goaltend. Neither team could really get into their rhythm offensively, but Georgetown held a 12-6 lead, but once Patrick Ewing came out, North Carolina settled in and cut the lead to 2. James Worthy seemed like he just couldn't miss, scoring 16 of Carolina's first 22. Meanwhile, Jordan was making his impact by playing great perimeter defense and grabbing tough boards. The shot really wasn't falling. To be fair, he didn't have many chances thanks to Worthy. The first half was the definition of back and forth. The announcers truly had no idea who was going to win this championship. Georgetown entered the break up 32-31, which played into their favor as they were 26-1 when leading at the half, but the announcers kept saying that North Carolina was a second half team. Michael Jordan just 4 points and 5 rebounds, while Ewing absolutely dominated inside with 10 points, but Carolina a surprising 20-9 advantage on the glass. The second half got underway and both teams were playing very well. You could tell that they were both getting comfortable. Jordan opened up with a beautiful corner mid-range jump shot for the Heels' first field goal of the half. With Worthy slowing down, the offense had to go through somebody, and Dean Smith decided to put it through his freshman. Jordan answered this call super well, getting into double figures early. He continued his production with rebounds and had the task of matching up with Georgetown's best guard, Sleepy Floyd. UNC would enter the first break up 41-38, but Georgetown did not go away, rotating players in and out with their deep bench, with Patrick Ewing impacting every shot. And don't believe it? Just ask the announcers, because the Patrick Ewing glaze was everywhere. Jordan and company were really getting tired as Dean Smith did not use a deep lineup, keeping his starting 5 in for the majority of the game. There was even a point where Georgetown looked like they were going to run away with a 7-0 run to take the lead by 6, before James Worthy would put one on Sleepy Floyd's head. Just take a look.
Basketball count, and this foul is going to go on Sleepy Floyd.
As this game got closer down the wire, the back and forth continued. Michael Jordan was playing like a senior, leading the team in rebounds with 9. Remember, this was during a time where guards taller than about 6'3" were seen as giants, so Jordan was seen as an anomaly. A guy who could shoot, pass, play defense, grab boards. He could do everything, a true threat from all areas of the game. With about 6 minutes to go, Dean Smith would put Michael Jordan back in for the final time. MJ continued to pound the glass, getting a clutch offensive tip out on a Worthy free throw miss that would eventually lead to Patrick Ewing's 4th foul. During this stretch, Jordan would lead a double team press up the floor with point guard Jimmy Black that would slow down Georgetown's offense. With around 3.5 to play, Mike put up a beautiful teardrop over Patrick Ewing to extend the lead to a 2-possession game. Jordan would then orchestrate the press break to take some time off the clock, and after a Patrick Ewing hook shot, Carolina was able to burn over a minute of clock before the Hoyas would foul. As remember, this was before the shot clock in college basketball. A miss from Matt Doherty gave Georgetown the opportunity to take the lead, and Sleepy Floyd got Jimmy Black behind him, pump fakes James Worthy for a beautiful shot to take the lead with just 40 seconds to go. Carolina would take a timeout with 32 seconds to play, and what happens next will forever live in history. The Heels inbound, take 12 seconds off the clock, just moving, trying to get something to open up. James Worthy is going to shield the zone, which allows Jimmy Black to go cross court to Michael Jordan, who drills the long-range corner jump shot to give North Carolina the lead with just 15 seconds to go. An amazing shot. The shot heard around the world. Georgetown would get the ball into the front court before Sleepy Floyd would throw the ball behind him right to James Worthy before Worthy would miss some free throws, but it didn't matter. Not enough time on the clock. North Carolina wins the 1982 National Championship for Dean Smith's first national championship. James Worthy was named the most outstanding player, but what everybody was talking about was the freshman star Michael Jordan, who hit the game-winning shot, the local kid, just unbelievable. Worthy would declare for the draft, setting up for Michael Jordan to take over Dean Smith's offense as the go-to guy, and he would take full advantage. Michael Jordan took over the ACC, he took over college basketball, averaging 19.3 points as a junior, winning National Player of the Year before doing something very rare at the time, declaring for the NBA draft as a junior, and the rest is history. Michael had a great college career, and he was no longer known as just Mike, but it was this game, the 1982 National Championship, that turned Michael Jordan into a national household name.